secrets, hidden dimensions of existence. So I was speaking before on how understanding the laws of nature gives us a deeper level of understanding than just in the dependence on the five senses. However, the brain can't set itself aside forever. The laws of nature that keep airplanes in the air also apply to every electron in the brain. Eventually, someone has to ask, who am I who is doing all this thinking? That's the question that leads to pure awareness. If you empty the brain of all thoughts, as in a state of meditation, awareness turns out not to be empty, void, and passive. Beyond the limits of time and space, one process, and only one, is taking place. Creation itself is happening, using consciousness as its modeling clay. Consciousness turns into things in the objective world, into experiences in the subjective world. What we call things are perceptual activities, modes of perceptual activity. And what we call mind is also modified awareness as thoughts and feelings. So consciousness turns into things in the objective world, into experiences in the subjective. But remember, even things are experiences. Break any experience down to its most basic element, and what you get are invisible ripples in the quantum field. Break down any object into its most basic element, and what you get is also a ripple in the quantum field, so-called objective. There is no difference, and by a stroke of supreme magic, the brain doesn't have to stand outside the creative process. Just by paying attention and having a desire, you flip on the switch of creation. Just by having a desire, you flip on the switch of creation. You flip it on, that is, if you know what you're doing. The victim of the five senses, pre-scientific mind, and the explorers of nature, scientists and philosophers, are just as creative as someone experiencing pure awareness. Sages, saints, shamans, siddhas, sorcerers, pick any label you want. But they believe in limitlessness. The sages don't believe in limitless. No, I should correct that. Sages are not limited by the potentialities of experience. For them, they are infinite. So any limitation is self-imposed. And when there's limitation as our mindset, then that limitation turns into reality. The glory of the spiritual journey is the same as its irony. You acquire full power only by realizing that you have been using that power all along to thwart yourself. You are potentially the prisoner, the jailer, and the hero who opens the prison door, all rolled into one. Instinctively, we know this all along, and have known this all along. In fairy tales, there's a magical connection between victims and heroes. The frog knows he's a prince, needing only the magic touch to regain his true status. Most fairy tales put the victim in peril, unable to break the spell until the magic is delivered from outside. The frog needs a kiss. The sleeping princess needs someone to break the veil of thorns and the wall of thorns as well. Cinderella needs a fairy godmother with a magic wand. Fairy tales symbolize a belief in magic that wells up from the most ancient parts of our brain, but they also lament that we are not masters of this magic. This dilemma has frustrated everyone who has tried to embrace the one reality, the non-dual reality. Even when wisdom is gained and you realize that your own brain is producing everything around you, finding the control switch to creation is elusive. But there is a way. Behind every experience is an experiencer who knows what is happening. What I find when I find a way to stand where the experiencer is standing, I will be at the still point around which the whole world turns. Getting there is a process that starts here and now. Every experience comes to us in one of four ways: as a feeling, a thought, an action, or simply a sense of being. And at unexpected moments, the experiencer is more present in these four things than usual. When that happens, we feel a change, a slight difference from our ordinary reality. Here's a list of such subtle changes taken from a notepad I kept by my side for several weeks. So the level of feelings: a lightness in my body, a streaming or flowing sensation in my body, a sense that all is well, that I'm at home in the world, a feeling of complete peace, a sensation of coming to rest as if a speeding car has glided to a halt, a feeling of landing in a soft place when I'm safe, where I'm safe, a feeling that I'm not what I seem to me, that I have been playing a part that isn't the real me, a feeling that something lies beyond the sky or behind the mirror. As far as thinking, this is what I experience. I know more than I think I do. I need to find out what's real and what's an illusion. I need to find out who I really am. My mind is becoming less restless. It wants to calm down. My inner voice and my inner voices have become very quiet. My internal dialogue occasionally stops altogether. And then, as far as actions are concerned, I suddenly sense that my actions are not my own. I sense a greater power acting through me. My actions seem to symbolize who I am and why I'm here. I'm acting out of complete integrity. I give up control, and what I wanted simply came to me. I gave up control, and what I wanted just came to me. I gave up the struggle, and instead of falling apart, things got better. My actions are part of a plan that I can barely glimpse, but I know it must exist. And then at the level of being, I realize that I'm cared for. I realize that my life has purpose, that I matter. I sense that random events are not random, but form subtle patterns. I see that I'm unique. I realize that life has the ability to run itself. I feel drawn to the center of things. I realize with wonder that life is infinitely worthwhile. This may seem like a very abstract list because everything on it is about awareness. I didn't record the thousands of other thoughts, feelings, and actions that centered on outside things. Of course, everyone else, I was thinking about my next, although like everyone else, I was thinking about my next appointment, or rushing to it, or feeling harried in traffic, being happy or out of sorts, confused or certain, focused or distracted. People stuff their suitcases with thousands of things, yet awareness is not a suitcase, nor is it the things you stuff inside. Awareness is just itself, pure, alive, alert, silent, and full of potential. And you are that. So these are the four realms of experience. In unity consciousness, they turn into one unified process of wholeness. We are holy, and then we are healed, because healing is the return to the memory of wholeness. Let me know if this is useful.